So today we're diving into the story of Nigeria, a nation that's really defined by a powerful central conflict. On one hand, you have this incredible story of explosive growth and just massive potential. And on the other, you've got these deep, persistent challenges. Let's try to unpack this complex picture together.
And that's really the core of it, isn't it? Nigeria's modern identity is all about this paradox. You've got stunning success happening right alongside profound hardship. And the thing is, these two realities aren't separate, they're completely intertwined. To really get a handle on Nigeria, you have to understand this push and pull.
Okay, so let's start with that story of progress. I mean, there's no question about it. Nigeria has become an absolute economic powerhouse on the continent. And what's really interesting is that its growth is being driven by some surprisingly diverse sectors. If you want a snapshot of just how fast this growth has been, look no further than telecommunications. Back in the 1990s, the entire country, this massive country, had fewer than 1 million landlines. Think about that. Today, there are well over 100 million mobile phones. That's not just an increase, it's a fundamental rewiring of the entire nation.
And what's really crucial to understand is that this success isn't just built on one thing. In fact, some of Nigeria's most impressive achievements have come from areas you might not expect, areas far beyond the traditional oil fields. It really showcases an incredible capacity for innovation.
A perfect example of this is the 2014 Ebola outbreak. I mean, while the whole region was in crisis, Nigeria's public health response was praised all over the world. They rolled out a rapid containment strategy and then followed it up with one of the most widespread and thorough contact tracing efforts anyone had ever seen. Now, this wasn't just luck, it was proof of the organizational power of its healthcare system. But Nigeria's influence doesn't stop at public health. It's also become a true global cultural powerhouse, and that's thanks almost entirely to its massive and incredibly prolific film industry, Nollywood. The scale here is just staggering. Nollywood pumps out over 2,500 films a year. Let me put that in perspective for you. That's more than Hollywood and Bollywood combined. We're talking about one of the largest film industries on the entire planet, just in terms of sheer volume. And its impact is enormous. You've got billions in revenue pouring in. It's a huge employer for everybody from actors to camera operators. And its movies are everywhere, distributed all across Africa and well beyond, shaping cultural conversations thousands of miles from Nigeria's borders. But of course, you can't really talk about Nigeria's economy without talking about the one thing that has driven its wealth for decades: oil. And the numbers here really tell the story. For a long, long time, oil wasn't just part of Nigeria's economy, it basically was the economy. It's responsible for the vast majority of all export income and a huge slice of government revenue. And the heart of this whole industry is right here, in the Niger Delta. This is the southern region where the great Niger River finally empties into the sea, and it's where you'll find the vast majority of the nation's black gold. This oil boom has created some truly staggering fortunes. It's the engine that's powered entrepreneurs like Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest person. His cement empire is literally building the cities of the future across the continent, and it was all fueled by the capital generated from this immense natural resource. Okay, but this is where our story takes a really sharp turn. Because for all the incredible wealth that oil creates, this reliance on it comes at a devastatingly high cost. This is the other side of that paradox we talked about. This quote really says it all. For the communities that are living right on top of all this incredible wealth, the daily reality often isn't prosperity, it's environmental destruction. And look, this isn't some abstract problem. For towns like Bodo, massive oil spills completely contaminated their waterways, wiping out the fish populations and destroying the traditional fishing livelihoods that families had relied on for generations. So this really lays out the central conflict, right? The gains are absolutely real. Government revenue funds infrastructure, and big companies create local jobs. But the losses are just as real, and they are felt directly by local communities through polluted ecosystems, destroyed livelihoods, and a rise in social tension and crime. So, where does all of this leave Nigeria? Well, its path forward is being shaped by some powerful new global partnerships, and by one fundamental, overarching question: who is all this wealth actually for? You see, the country's international relationships are changing in a big way. While Great Britain was the historical partner, today Nigeria has forged these deep economic ties with nations like China and India. Chinese investment especially is just pouring in, funding billions in huge infrastructure projects like railways, roads, and telecommunications. And here it is. This is the ultimate paradox. You have the oil wealth, you have these dynamic new industries, you have massive foreign investment, and yet, for a huge part of the population, widespread poverty remains a daily reality. And this stark inequality has profound, very human consequences. It's what drives so many Nigerians to look for opportunities somewhere else. Some even take on these incredibly dangerous journeys, crossing the Sahara and the Mediterranean, all because they're searching for a better life they feel they just can't find at home. Which leaves us with the fundamental question for Nigeria's future. The wealth is there, it's undeniable, the potential is immense. But can that great wealth finally be harnessed in a way that lifts up all of its people? Well, that remains the unfinished part of the Nigerian ascent.